it's a tough loss. You know, I mean, I thought we played well enough on defense. Fortunately, obviously we didn't get anything going offensively. We have 36 yards rushing, and we're a rushing team. It was tough, you know. In spite of all that, it's just I had a hard time moving the ball, but we had two kicking deals in a close game. We're still in it, you know what I mean? And so those are some momentum changers, you know, on two of our punt returns. But we went after it because, you know, we couldn't generate anything offensively. So, you know, it's third and forever. You know, hindsight, look at everything. You know, do you go for it? You go for a block on third and a mile. But, you know, we couldn't generate anything offensively. So we were down there to try to took a chance, and it came back to hurt us because they ended up scoring and obviously going up 2 scores. And the game was still 7-3. But, you know, we said in the game that it's going to be who can get the fullback going. And, you know, their guy had 100 yards, and, you know, we had 23 or whatever in between us, 26 amongst our fullbacks. And so hats off to them. It's a tough loss. You know, it's always tough losing to a service academy. Just give them credit, man. Just give Air Force credit, but it's a hard one to swallow.
Questions for Coach?
Yeah, Coach, Bill Wagner from Baltimore Sun and Capital Gazette. Offensively, what did you see? It didn't look like there was a lot of running room. I don't, you know, the fullback would try to dive and get a yard, and it just stacked up.
Yeah, and you got to be able to throw the ball and loosen them up a little bit. You know what I mean? You know, they couldn't run the ball against us either, but I thought their passes kind of loosened us up a little bit. You know what I mean? And when we dropped back to throw, we couldn't. And you have to be able to loosen people up. You know what I mean? And to me, that was the difference. They couldn't run the ball. We couldn't run the ball to start off the game, but I think a couple of their quarterback draws and a couple of their passing stuff kind of loosened them up. And when we threw the ball, we couldn't get anything going. But you can't have everybody playing up on a line of scrimmage like that. I mean, it's not rocket science. You got to be able to back people up, and we weren't able to do that.
Coach, does it feel a little defeating to see the defense improve the way that they did this week to last, but it kind of mean nothing in the grand scheme of things, given that the offense couldn't do anything?
When you lose, you win as a team, and you lose as a team. You know what I mean? And so, it's deflating just to lose. You know what I mean? But I thought our defense played their hearts out. But we're one team. You know what I mean? It's not like we have different parts of our team or anything. We're Navy football. But like I said, it's that a third down conversion when they ran the draw, which I thought was huge. We had them third and a mile, and those two kicks, and we couldn't get anything going on offense. And you got to be able to throw the ball when you got everybody up on the line of scrimmage, and we couldn't do that.
Hey Ken, Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. I was going to ask, obviously it's not all on Xavier, but I was just curious what you thought about his play, and did you consider, I think he was just 0 for 5, did you consider letting him air it out a little bit more?
Yeah, we were trying, trying to throw the ball. He's got some of those passes we thought open. He said he, didn't think they were open, but you got to turn the ball loose. But, we did have some pass plays, but, we didn't get them off. Like I said, in their pass plays, they got off. And they were able to get them off and able to get them completed. And we weren't able to do that.
Coach Diane Roberts, Behind the Lines Academy Football Report. Wondering if you have any injury updates for us and any of the guys we saw.
It's been crazy. We lost Mitch West, our starting safety, early in the game. I can't even remember. We lost him early. Lost Kevin Brennan in there too. Will Harbour, got hurt. Diego's banged up, but Diego's a warrior. He fought the whole time. We have one of our players over here, Bernard, Donald, and Biscuit was playing injured. A lot of our guys played banged up. But losing Mitch early on hurt us, and so there was one point where we had 2 backup safeties in there, and they played well. They did a commendable job, but obviously you want your 2 starters in there in a game like this.
To follow up, I'm sorry, I know I don't have the mic, but do do you have any updates on any of those injuries?
Well, I came,
Early, okay.
yeah, I came straight from here. These are hard, man. Any loss is hard, but service academy losses are really, really hard. And so just trying to console your players, as a coach, you're frustrated, you're mad that you lose. There's all those feelings. But first and foremost, you feel for your players. You feel for them and the pain that they're going through and all the hard work that they put in. And so just trying to console players. But I didn't have a chance to go back to the training room yet.
Thank you.
Speaking of injuries, how close was Ty to being able to go? And do you have hope that in 2 weeks at Houston he might be available?
I'll see. I mean, I'm not sure, Wags. We'll see. I'll talk with the doctors. He's improving probably more than we thought, and so he's progressing probably a little bit faster, but, we don't know. There was a chance Mikey wasn't going to play today, but he did, so some guys made Jamal, too, there's a chance that Jamal wasn't going to play either, Glenn. And those are all 2 game time decisions by our corners that they played.
And did Masai show you anything on the last drive when he moved the ball over the middle?
Yeah, I thought he threw the ball well. I thought he did some good things throwing the ball, so.
I'm sorry, I have one more. With regard to the punting, you went with Kellen, I can't say that last name, but he had a 50-yarder that flipped field position, but then he had a 19-yarder that led to their first touchdown. Then you brought in the other kid. Just kind of talk about where you are with your punting situation.
We got to get better. I mean, we can't snap the ball. We've had some snapping issues last couple weeks, and snap one over the head today, and we just got to get better. You know what I mean? And I got to get better at coaching. We got to get better at playing, but it's not Navy football. We had 2 mistakes on there that, they couldn't move the ball against, and that turned and flipped the field. Then we couldn't flip it back, and then we went after it. But I could see why we went after it, because we couldn't generate anything on offense. So we had them down there. Heck, let's take a shot at him. We're getting 3 and outs. But then we rough the kicker, and we get them, and then they go down to score, go up 2 scores. And so I don't know, maybe we could have been a little bit more patient, maybe went return. But, we weren't getting anything on offense. It was just 3 and out. And so we're just trying to do something to generate something.
Kenny, just to follow up on what you said a minute ago, what do you say to your kids in the locker room after they work so hard, as you said, for a game like this?
It's hard, John. I mean, you let your kids know that you love them. You go around to them and just, one by one, just let them know you appreciate all that they do. It's hard, man. Those guys are hurting right now. They put everything into this game. I have no problems with the way how hard our kids played. They laid everything on the field. I got 0 issues with that. Obviously we can play better and do certain things and can coach better, but effort level, man, I love our kids. They gave everything. I wish we could have gave them more.
Well, last question for me, Coach. The defense was a positive. They were really getting after him. Some great hits, some hit backfield, Busick, a couple tackles for loss. Diego was all over the place. I mean, can you just talk about the defense? That is one positive coming out of today.
Really excited. I mean, it was a bounce back from last week. I thought they came back and played really, really well this week defensively. And like I said, they weren't getting anything on us. The punt return deal kind of flipped the field and gave them life, but they weren't getting anything. Now, they missed the field goal, but, we still weren't able to flip the field, so it was down that side on the field. In a game like this, field position is huge. It always is when we played service academies. It's, who's smarter, who can take care of the ball, who can get the fullback going. You look at any of the games with us, with them, us with Army, it's who can get the fullback going, and they did, and we didn't.
Coach Alif Kareem here, WDBM TV. Just wanted to ask really quickly, I know the loss hurts, but to play in this atmosphere on this day, what did it mean for you and for your guys as well?
I just think it was awesome. It was a great atmosphere, a capacity crowd. It's great to see, and just for the reason that we're here, remembering 9/11. I think for our country, there's so much divisiveness now, and And I think it was cool for a day. Just put all of that aside. You put all the politics, put all of that stuff aside, and we're all Americans. Not Democrat, Republican, not white, black, brown, none of it. Just remember 9/11 and remember those that, that passed away on that horrific day and those that passed away after that. And we have some players on our team that played on Navy football that gave the ultimate sacrifice after 9/11 because of the conflicts that arose from 9/11. And so it hits us very closely. We have some players on our team, and then I think all of us in this room know somebody that was, there, or a relative or a friend. And so I thought the great thing for just this day, we're just all Americans, and just remembering people from 9/11, I thought that was cool.
A little bit about what the defense did to make such a dramatic improvement from last week to this week.
We just played Navy football. That's all we did. We worked our asses off this week and got after it, and we just played how we're supposed to play.
For both of you guys, similar to what I asked Coach, is it a little deflating for you guys to play as hard as you did, to improve as well as you did, and then not really see any repayment on the other side of the ball?
I'll go first. First of all, I don't like that question. Like, all due respect, like, we play as a team. None of that on the field with the offense that doesn't. It's not that it doesn't mean anything what they did, but we try to, as long as they put points on the board. As I feel like we could have did something better. We go back, you see some mistakes just really cost us on defense. So we don't put the blame on anybody on offense. Could have did better on defense. So that's all to that.
Craig Copeland, Washington Post. I know you're saying you could do more, but I'm curious. Just what were the conversations between you guys as a defense? As you guys are having so much success through the game. What are you guys kind of talking to yourselves about on the sidelines?
Okay. We just keep each other positive, keep it going, just keep doing your job, focus on your job, and if everybody does their job, just keep doing things right.
It seemed like you guys were dialed in on what Air Force was running. You had a lot of, hits where you behind the line of scrimmage or only a gain of yard or two. Can you just talk about what you all were doing well? I mean, you just feel like you really had them scouted well and knew what was coming and were beating blocks?
It was just a whole lot of film study, preparation before the game. We played bad last week against Marshall, so we just had a chip on our shoulder. So we just felt like we needed to pick it back up. But this game, it wasn't enough. So it's just back to the drawing board, know what we got to do, get better. 2 weeks from now, we play Houston. So.
Guys, a question for both of you. I know the result sucks for both of you guys, but what did it mean to just play in this environment on a day like this, and your earliest memory, if you have any, related to this day?
It's a special thing to play against Air Force 9/11. It just means a lot. If you told me I was going to be playing in this game senior year of high school, I would have laughed. But it's a blessing to just play in this game. Just what it meant to have all the people who were involved in that. Just everybody who just just was in that situation, made the ultimate sacrifice, and those who just didn't come out on the right thing on that. It just means a lot to me to be able to just play and represent all the people, all the naval people in the naval service, and just have a game with so much meaning into it.
Hi, Diane Roberts, Behind the Lines Academy Football Report. You guys have a bye next week. I wonder how that sits with you. Do you wish you could play next week? I know you can't, but how does that make you feel coming off of 2 losses in a row? You have to sit on that for a little while.
We're just going to come back next week, bye week, and just continue to grind, continue to get better. Just as a team as a whole, we're just going to continue to get after it and be the best team we can be.
tell us what you saw offensively, what was happening. Obviously, you weren't able to get any drives, sustained drives going.
I think Air Force defense did a good job. I give credit to them. They threw a lot of different defenses out there. None that we haven't seen before. But, I mean, there's really no excuse. It's hard to say now. We got to go back and watch the film, see what we could do better and keep moving forward. We got to get going on offense, and I don't have no doubt that we will, but it's got to happen. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, like I said, Air Force played a good game, but when we're out there, it's something that we practice all week. We saw all those defenses all week, and we were prepared coming in for all that, but we just didn't execute. It's kind of the tale of the two tapes. You come out last week and you execute well. You put up a lot of yards, just don't score. This week, you just can't move the ball. Just kind of felt like we were, in quicksand. Just something we got to get back, grind, fix it out, fix everything we were, messing up on, and get back to it.
It didn't seem like there were a lot of openings. I mean, James would go into the line and it'd be stacked up because there was nowhere to go. There were no holes. And then you carried the ball down the line and you're looking for an opening. It's not there. Is it a case to where Air Force was able to start stacking the line of scrimmage and crowding the box and just not much, to do?
Yeah, most definitely. It was definitely crowded up there. There wasn't a lot of holes, I would say, to break through. The whole game you try to get a gauge on what they're doing and try to see if you can find those holes. And every time I got out there, there just really wasn't much up in the middle out there. So yeah, again, you got to look back at the film because it's not easy to see everything that goes on when you're out there. So you got to look at the film and see, how we would attack that next time and better.
Chance, anything you saw in that regard?
I think for the most part, in the back end, they were playing man across the board, safeties and corners. So, that just indicates that they got 7 guys in the box playing the run. But like Hank said, it's hard to see, what could have been a better player, what we should have done better. But I think for the most part, when we get that 7 guys in the box and 4 across the board, just got to be able to drop back and, throw the ball a little bit more, get the ball on the perimeter some more. And, we all know that as offense, but there's nothing we can do now. We just got to get back to the drawing board.
Any other questions for the offense?
Hey guys, Alif Kareem here from WDVM. Just last question, for both of you guys, what was it like to play out here despite the result, just in this atmosphere and on this day? And for you guys, if there, it reminded you of any early memories you had related to the day itself?
Yeah, it was, it was a great environment. It was great to be out here playing on such a day as 9/11. But it for me, it kind of puts everything in perspective. I'm sitting here sour and very upset about a loss. But 20 years ago today, so many people lost loved ones. So just kind of put it in perspective that, hey, I'm out here playing college football with some of my best friends and brothers for life. Regardless of wins or losses, things could be a lot worse. So yeah, it's awesome to kind of remember those people that put it all on the line for this country that day.